Oh, takes me back to the good old GPS days, doesn't it? Doesn't she sound like the original, like, Garmin voice? Like, turn left
Turn
here.
left. Now! Damn it!
Recording is in progress. Like, oh yes, thank you. Thanks, Hal. Hey guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Galactic Explorers with your two favorite channelers, Ms. Dallas and myself,
Hello.
Daniella. Hi guys. Welcome back to the podcast where we take you through all the topics and the things with that galactic perspective. That shit's a mouthful, so I'm gonna shorten it up.
Da-da-da-da-da.
um, just for now.
You know what you're here for.
You know what you're listening to, hopefully, by now. And if you don't, please do go back and check it out, because some of that shit's pretty interesting, if I do say so ourselves.
Yeah.
I might cut that bit out. We'll see. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back.
Excuse me. I get that one out.
Let's go ahead and put my soapbox over
Your
here.
audio, that sounds amazing. You're welcome. That's your sensory download for the day.
Basically.
Put that on repeat. Oh, blessed.
You're the best. Oh my god.
Welcome to Galactic Explorers.
All right, so welcome back to another episode.
Hi.
Hi. And we are cracking in, as always, with our vibe of the week.
Vibe of the week. Bow, bow, bow.
So,
Vibe of the week.
vibe of the week.
What's going on during the vibe of the week?
Vibe of the week.
Back to the cards. What do they got to tell us? What's our future?
What is our future for this week? So I have got out today my Wild Offerings Oracle cards, which have the beautiful Ganesha on the back. I love them. And so 4 came out again. They literally just popped out. I mean, they came out as a chunk. I was like, okay, well, here you go. Actually, last week it was 3. This week it's 4. I said 4 last week, but it was only 3. I don't know. I just listen.
What week are you on?
I don't.
Where are you?
I don't know.
Are you being abducted? It looks like you're being abducted. Are aliens taking you back there? they got a mind probe in you?
No doubt. I have no doubt. Okay, so more good things to come.
Of course.
Starting off with abundance.
Ooh.
And this one shares, these ones are actually interesting because they give you little prayers or affirmations to,
Oh, I love that.
To, kind of like engender, or like, I wouldn't say engender yourself, but
General?
imbue yourself with the idea. Yes, there we go. Wow. There's gonna be so much editing to this one, bud.
Can I just say of the topic we're going to talk about, it's already swirling around?
Yeah, that's... Well, see, I told you, even though we pre-record these things, it's like we go into phase with whatever we're talking about. So,
we're already
abundance.
there. Yeah.
Abundance. So this one, because they're little prayers that help you get into the feel of the energy of the card, of what that one's sharing. It says, Divine Beloved, please show me how to feel fully deserving to receive. I release my ego's plan and open to being a vehicle for abundance. So that's the most beautiful card right here. I know my background too, right?
I know.
We've got abundance. We've got trust, which is a beautiful blue.
Ooh.
This one says, when love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. It's very interesting, especially as we're talking about this week, right? True offering was the next one. It says, may I release fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into my higher plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me for the highest good. I am my own alone. It's awesome. Very interesting how they all go together. And this one, finish off these beautiful roses, is self-love.
Mm.
Show me how to love myself. Show me how to take care of the inner child. Show me how to be kind within. When you step into self-forgiveness, so much can change on the outside.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's what we've got. That's what the Wild Offerings Oracle has. What you got? Who you got? What you got?
I have, let's see if I can.
Ooh, I love
Ah,
this deck of yours.
I know. This is the root chakra,
Mm-hmm. And how?
right? So that's a pretty powerful one.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, I love this
Ooh.
card. So this one's spirit animal.
It's like the cave paintings on the walls.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So for the week, I feel what these cards say is definitely it's always about your inner work, right? I mean, but to ground, center,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and as we're kind of coming up to fall and whatnot, and Mercury retrograde and all the things, we're shifting, we're making a huge shift. So grounding within yourself is really huge, right? The self-love, bringing all that into yourself.
Trusting the timing, not needing to rush and do all that stuff and like blah,
right?
blah, 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 right? Just for the sake
Yeah.
of it.
So we're settling down, and being a big nature person myself,
Mm-hmm.
is what is the outside world showing? What are they doing? What are they creating? Right. So getting in tune with nature and the animals and the plants all around you, they're starting to
Change.
change,
Oh my God,
starting
we've
to
had color
adapt,
change since
starting
last
to
month.
like get in. So they're doing their thing. So it's kind of feel like you want to like get deep and down and like mother nature nurturing your own self and kind of getting ready for that shift. So it's really nurturing yourself, really finding time for yourself, bringing abundance to yourself, getting that self, tuning in.
Yeah, abundance of self-love and taking care of yourself. And yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
I think that all goes together of tune in, get some deep love ritual going for yourself and
Tune in
ground.
and get some.
Get out in nature and just watch the leaves change, or feel the weather change, and then it's like it's bringing a whole aspect of just being one with everything. Helps
Love it.
you just kind of that feeling of fall brings. It's just like a crisp
Oh my
air and
God. Oh, stop.
just
Can't
that
wait.
feeling, the feeling. It's like, yes, that's
Oh,
what.
I love it. I love it.
Soak it
I'm
up a
feeling it.
little bit more. Soak it up.
Oh, I can't wait to feel it some more.
It's the shift. You can feel that shift with this one. You can really feel it, and I think everybody kind of looks forward to it.
Yeah.
Depending where you're at.
I'm excited though. Yes. Shifts.
Yeah.
Speaking of shifting,
Speaking of shifting,
you ready to get real and talk about some prep for Mercury retrograde? The last one of the year coming
getting
up
really real.
in 2 weeks. And speaking of shifting, it's in another air sign, my sign, the Libra.
Oh. Okay.
So we're going to have lots of interesting energy coming through to reflect on all the things. So,
Right. Where are we balancing?
what are we working with? So, get real with me, Dallas. Prep for Mercury retrograde. What's the idea? When you prep for Mercury retrograde, first of all, we can talk about what retrograde even means to you, because I know your definition of it is not necessarily the textbook definition, which I love. and then talk about kind of how you start to internally prep for it. Because you prep for it. I don't.
I do. Yeah.
And I just forget that it's coming, and then I end up in the middle of it. So it's such a different perspective. So share with us how you, speaking of changes and feeling the shift and all the rest of that, it's like, we got that coming up in the next couple of weeks. So how do you do the thing that
how do I do? Right? Mercury retrograde at first was always like, don't do this and don't do that, and don't sign contracts, and don't have surgeries or buy a car or the big ticket items, or don't travel, or computers, and da 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 da. Okay.
It's like, okay, you really get it. We get where they're coming from with that. Okay.
Step back, look really what's going on the space aspect of it, right? It's shifting, it's actually going backwards, and that's what it does. And okay. So then, of course, that's a vibration ripple. And how does that affect us? Cool. I'm aware of that. So I
it's not so much the fear aspect of it, though, where it's just like.
Right. So I read a really awesome book called The Power of Mercury Retrograde by, I don't know if I'm going to say the name correctly, last name, Leslie McGurk. And it really brought me to a perspective of, I don't have to fear it. That's not what it's about, of fearing retrograde. So I have started the beginning of the year. I go, okay, when is Mercury retrograde throughout the year? What are the shadow effects? Da 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 da. And I'll plan I mark it on my calendar and but okay, this is when it is. And then I set intentions of, okay, it's coming. Where am I at? How is my next month, the few weeks following up? Okay, this is what's going on. So I will sit, I'll do a card spread. Sorry. And I just set intentions up there. Okay, what is going on? What energy do I want to be in? What energy do I need to pull myself into? And I do visualizations and meditation, and I kind of see a timeline of, this is where I'm going. This is okay. And just bring myself into awareness is really it.
Yeah.
And going, oh, this person's acting a fool. Cool. I'm not going to react to that. I'm not going to buy into, the fear of everything, because I also have a few friends. Oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde. Like, okay, yeah, it is.
Oh, you see it all over Facebook. Yeah, all the.
Don't do this. Oh my God, everybody. Yeah. If you put yourself in that energy of really reversing yourself, then you're really going to spin yourself out to where you allow it to go, you know what? What do I need to work on? Where can I stop and pause and look outwards? And so that's what I kind of do is, okay, so for my business or my home, or what can I revamp in a way? What can I just be a witness?
What could you reconsider? What could you look at differently? Take a different perspective on?
So
revisit like different ideas and stuff.
Just allowing yourself to be a witness and not take action or reaction on anything, and just to be in that energy of it, I think is the big thing. And learning not to spin out on something that is reversing, where you go, oh my God, everything's just not working out for me.
Right.
Well, what did you just tell
it's
the
supposed
universe?
to be reflective. So if you let it be reflective and just kind of do its job, and like you said, like not be hyper reactive to it.
Right.
And just let it be reflective, so that you can reflect on yourself and go, oh, then you end up just kind of floating through it and letting it work for you, almost, in a sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to be in the flow with the energy, right? Where's the flow?
But it's like, it can work for you. Like, you can.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be this like.
The past few years, it's been a great experience.
Yeah, most of mine are too.
I mean, there's some days where I'm like, holy fuck, this is intense. This is intense. But then I go, okay, it's just, I need to be in the flow. I can't resist it. If I'm resisting, then it's not gonna be easy. So why put up a fight when it's just naturally doing what it's naturally doing. Right?
Absolutely. And I was just thinking, I'm like, that could probably be applied to any time in life, not necessarily retrograde.
Of course. But then I think if Mercury retrograde, you're
specifically gives us a
more
time
aware of
to
it.
reflect.
Yeah. You're setting that time of like, okay, this is the time that I can really go through some stuff right now and really dig and get deep on something.
But use
in
it
a
to your
different
benefit
way.
rather than letting it be
Right.
what it's kind of turned into, which is very interesting. It's almost like, dare I say it?
Say it.
I feel like Mercury retrograde is kind of turned into like a Hallmark holiday.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's got, and don't get me wrong, there's some of it, that is really witty, and I love it, and I get it. That's like that it's in fashion, but it's so funny that the idea of it has gotten so mainstream that it's got its own kind of cliched themes to it now that
Mm-hmm.
everybody sort of automatically associates with it. So anytime they start to try to work with it, that's the angle that they're coming at it from, because that's
Right.
the only version of it that they've heard, that Mercury
Right.
retrograde is this like terrible time and it rips up your life and don't do this and don't do that, and
Mm-hmm.
like, so it's very interesting to see the progression of how it's like turned into this its own like little monster out there in social media. This
Sure.
whole idea of retrograde.
And I think that's what we talked about, kind of
Just thinking about it, I was like, this is, it's wild to see it out there, right?
right. Well, when we talked just between me and you of the buying spiritual, selling spiritualism,
Yeah,
something like that. But it kind of goes on the mind of like, oh, this is something, and I can just market it because there's so much out there. But
right.
then you're not really tuning into it.
The true message and meaning of the energy of the
Right.
gift.
And how it works for you. For me, it works in a way that I can see it differently and allow myself to go, okay, this is not a negative thing. I don't have to resist it. I don't have to put limitations on myself.
Yep.
I don't have to follow that old belief system.
Right.
I can make this work for me.
Right.
And it's a natural state, and I can be in my natural
I was going to
state.
say, because if it's a natural state that energetically that the solar system goes into, that then affects the planets around it,
Right. Yeah.
and you would think that it would be part of a built-in system or mechanism that affects us to a very particular end,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
or
absolutely.
intention rather. So it's like, to almost have it not work for you, or it like seems then at that point, if you look at it from that perspective, like counterintuitive to
Right.
insist that it makes your life hell when it's like not even ever intended to.
Right. It's just doing
It's
its
interesting.
natural process.
Yeah.
Right? Like fall and everything dies.
Yeah.
It's just a natural process. This doesn't mean like, oh, the world is ending.
Right.
It means
Right.
that it's shifting, it's changing. It's
Yeah.
got to change its course. It's got to change its vibration
Yeah.
to recreate what it needs to do, or just do what it does.
Right. Yeah. This
Oh,
whole
it's
idea,
just
yeah,
doing
this
what it
whole
does.
thing that like so many of these natural functions that have been so cliched out into
Yeah.
their own, it's like misunderstood idea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
But the misunderstood idea is what gets popular. So it's like, oh,
Right. Because it's easy to fear something than to really learn, right? And
oh, I
research
know.
and
Yeah, it's
find out
easier to
for
fear it and
yourself.
push it away. And yeah, say you have limitations and all the rest of that stuff and not engage with it, rather than, yeah, just doing the reflective inner work and letting that stuff show you what it's supposed to be showing you, so you can sort yourself out in the way that you've been intending to sort yourself out, or whatever the function is.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
You
Way to get
gotta
real
look
on
at
him,
it.
Dallas. Way to get real.
Yeah.
So you can prepare, though. And that's where we're going to get a little bit,
Absolutely.
since that's
Yeah.
your forte in this case, is for our tool time.
Tool time.
Tool time. Because now that we've got real, we can share that tool. because you totally mentioned it, and that's why you blurped, because it's like, do I mention it now or do I mention it?
Oh yeah, I did. I was like, wait, did I? Okay, cool.
But that's
Yeah.
because I knew that's what you wanted to mention. And we were talking about it a little earlier, is that helping yourself prepare for at least the energies coming up. If you have an idea of maybe the themes or the topics that may be presented to you in reflection by triggers or this or that or the other, you may find yourself more empowered in the moment when they do happen to not just react to them in a knee jerk kind of way and let the retrograde sort of quote unquote get to you, but
Right.
allow it to use it as a tool. And we were both talking about the tool of actually using something simple that we know every day and busting out our tarot cards again and using that.
Yeah.
I honestly used to know somebody that anytime it was about to be any kind of retrograde, much less just Mercury, she would go and get a reading from her psychic woman, like every single time. She wanted to know ahead of time what the
So
fuck
fun.
she needed to quote unquote look out for. And granted, in some of those cases, it's like, if you're not careful, you can use this tool in a fear-based way.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I've seen that happen, and not necessarily with her, but it's just like I've seen that happen where it's like people use these tools. You can use these tools for anything to address any topic in any way, but use them out of fear, and then have it be kind of, not with the
Right.
original intent.
Right.
But with that in mind, if you're actually just kind of using it to give yourself a heads up as to what you might see reflected at you so that you're not surprised when you see it, that's so much more helpful to have it as that heads up. So you were talking about some ways that you use it, and I would love for you to share that with us
Yes.
for tool time.
Right.
You
So
have some stuff, so please do share.
tools
Yeah.
is definitely I use my cards, tarot, oracle, whatever I feel. I sit, get my space. I have my dates, and then I sit on that energy of it of like, okay, for this Mercury retrograde, where
So
am
you
I
do it all at
focused?
once at the beginning of the year, and you do like pull your cards
Well,
all at once, or do you do both?
I kind of do both.
Okay, cool.
And
Just check.
I have my calendar and I will mark in, okay, like this is the energy of this time. And then I pull my cards and just kind of, okay, I visualize myself, on those dates. This is the date. I do that. And then when Mercury does start coming up, about a week or so ahead, I set my intentions. Where am I at? Because things change.
Right.
Life change as we go through the year.
Sure.
Things come up. So I'm like, okay, I kind of put myself in this spot and the energy. Where am I at? What do I need to reflect? I set my intention. I think that's the biggest thing. What is my intention? I want to get through this with ease, with comfort. I want to explore this or whatever. So then I just start pulling cards.
Nice. So you don't
'Cause
have
I
a
like to,
particular spread that you normally do. You just start pulling cards.
yes,
Awesome.
I do sometimes will use a spread on some things, but I try to, with something like this, I try to keep it just a free flow. Cool. And not put the limitations of it and go, okay, what message do you have for me? Or what do I need to focus on? Or what should, what do you have for me?
Right. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And
Totally.
then I go through my cards and I lay them out. And sometimes I'll have a certain spread, or sometimes it might just be one card.
Nice.
And I go, okay. And I'll sit with that card for a minute. And then I do my writing. Like I've talked about before, I write out what it shows me. And then I'll go to what the card says in the book. And then I go, okay. And so then and that's what I do. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And that's what works for me. And I just set my intention and I'll write my intention out. And then I have something where if I'm having a day and I feel that, I go, okay, I come back and go, this is what I need to focus on, Dallas. Dallas, this is where you need to be at right now. No, you don't need to interact with that. No, or So it really depends on the energy of that Mercury retrograde.
Sure.
And the time of year. And
Yeah.
so like this fall is coming. There's a big shifts and
Yeah, I was gonna say
changes.
this one's in Libra, so we got a lot of air energy, movement,
Right?
like
Finding that
thinking,
balance. Yep.
processing. Yeah.
Finding where I need to find balance and with myself and with
Mhm.
everything outside of myself, you know, kids
Mhm.
going to school, jobs are
Mhm.
changing a little bit. What am I, where am I at that time?
Mhm.
So that's what I'm focusing on definitely, is balancing and managing what I need to go through in this next few, you know, the rest of the year pretty much. But
Nice.
it's definitely of sitting back and going, okay, what do I need to tinker with
Mhm.
to make it as smooth as possible,
Right.
that I have a plan set or whatever it is.
Love it. So how's about a demonstration then?
Demonstration?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How's about we give the people some idea of maybe some of the overarching themes that they might see reflected at them? Because what I find is that there's, even though there's individual differences and details to the stories, like the main themes of what a lot of us go through are very similar all around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the audience, for the people, what are some maybe themes that they might keep an eyeball out for going forward as they keep half a mind to preparing for Mercury retrograde?
So this is,
Ooh,
oh, come on now. Let's see, maybe I gotta get closer.
oh, right in the middle. There you go.
Can you see it? Okay, it's the world and it was
Ooh.
reversed. So it's upside down.
Yeah, pretty though.
Yeah. They got a gold tint to them and it's really hard to like see. They're really cool. All right. So the world reversed. What I'm picking up is, of course, we might feel that the world's upside down, right? I mean, it has been. But let's see here. I feel the other one is going to have a message. Okay. So there are many open loops right now, and they are draining your energy. Find closure and tie up loose ends, which is perfect time for Mercury retrograde. That's the time that you want to sit, reflect,
Yep,
observe,
assess your relationships,
right?
assess your boundaries, yep, all that stuff.
The last sentence, resolve your inner desire for completion rather than seeking closure with others.
That is a big thing, dude. Is to just get that closure in yourself rather than having to
Yeah.
hold on to it because you didn't get to have the closure with the other person just for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason. Yeah, that's a
So,
good one.
and then the card that kind of matched with this. So let me
Uh-oh.
find.
It's a really good theme though.
Yeah. Oh, this one's going to be pretty.
Closure, inner boundaries, outer boundaries.
Okay. Give me a second. And okay.
We're just over here
Okay.
beyond up a storm, Jesus. Yes.
So with that goes with the world. This is the King of Pentacles.
Nice. There you go. Yeah.
So you see all the grapes.
Yeah.
What do we think about? Abundance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Abundance, a king. The
Yeah.
king takes orders, not takes order, gives
Gives
orders,
orders,
gives,
got
he's he's looked up, he's admired, he's full, right? He's abundant, right? A
right.
king, think of it what a king is. He's abundant, he's a ruler, he takes action, he gives action. So you are confident attracting and managing wealth. You can translate your vision into something that is tangible, practical, and often lucrative. You are the ultimate business owner.
Well, dang.
So I think with these two cards, motherfucker.
I know.
Hey, these two cards go together where you're allowing yourself to end and seeing yourself in one old paradigm and allowing the new paradigm and your new self to come forward. Right. And so sitting and reflecting and pulling that timeline out in front of you of being observing yourself, of like, it's great manifesting tool that Mercury retrograde you can do is manifest and sitting and visualizing and getting, okay, how do I want to feel? What direction do I want to go? Right. And closing up and releasing old wounds to allowing new growth to come forward.
I mean, that literally, yeah.
So there you go.
That's it, yeah. But then that translates, I think, into ideas of, again, looking at where, and you mentioned this earlier, looking at where your energy drains are.
Yeah.
Being conscious of, you know, is it people? Is it experiences? Is it circumstances? Is it like, what are the things that are really not allowing you to be you?
Right.
And is it because you're not allowing them to allow, or is it because they really just aren't fit for you, like a good fit for you?
Right.
And that's something that you have to reflect and decide for yourself. Is, you know, it's like, you know, talking about a person, for instance, do you, you know, like what kind of boundaries do you put with interacting with that person? Or do you stop seeing them altogether?
Right. Well, I think too is the world, don't let the outside world have so much, make you who you think you are.
That too, yeah, because there's, right? I mean, there was a lot of that message beginning, what was it, last week, that was talking about being your own free thinker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Starting something new and like closing old doors and letting new stuff. I mean, that was literally like straight out of last week's 5 of the week. Well, it was the 1st of September, and it's, you know, so it makes sense.
Are you getting the message?
Yeah, totally.
Fine, I hear you. I get it.
Right? I get it. Okay.
Because I think we're in a state of, if you're not actually doing it, you're going to be forced to do it, and then that's where the resistance comes in. Of okay, I got to do what I need to do, and whatever form that is, you have to take the steps to do it. You know, and even if you're just sitting and journaling, that's a step. Sitting and visualizing, that's a step.
Well, my dears,
thank you.
Enjoy prepping for Mercury retrograde this time. Know what's ahead of you. We've got some ideas now. And take it in stride. We appreciate you guys. Love you. Hang out. Add your comments, all your themes and stuff as we go through our new format and stuff. We're always going to be looking for new themes to apply to all of our new segments and stuff. We're going to be adding new types of segments. So if you have ideas for new types of segments that you would like for us to do, you can always share them with us at all of our platforms, which are all linked in the descriptions below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all the wonderful things. Thank you guys for joining us as we dealt with preparing for Mercury retrograde.
Right. Float on through.
Float on through. Next week, coming up, we're going to be talking about the fall flow, because we will be 2 days away from the beginning of the fall season.
Yay!
And that is its whole other energy. So join us next week when we talk about fall flow and abundant harvest, both physically and spiritually and internally. Have a great rest of your week, you guys. We love you, and we'll see you next time.